Hey everybody, welcome to ChorderClub. On today's video, we're going to be unboxing a brand new CharaChorder One. First, I will unbox a brand new CharaChorder One and show you what comes with it. Then we're going to talk a little bit about ergonomics and hand placement on the device. And then finally, we'll come back into the office, plug it in, and show you what to expect and how to type your name.
So you got yourself a CharaChorder One. Let's take a look inside.
Inside of this cardboard shipping box, you're going to find the CharaChorder One graphics box wrapped in bubble wrap. And inside of this box, you're going to find your brand new CharaChorder One and its carrying case, along with the reference card. You can pause here and take a better look, but we're going to come back to this later in the video. The case is semi-water resistant, anti-static, shockproof, pretty stylish, and actually really durable. It's going to prevent any damage or scratches caused by either accidental bumping or dropping, and it's going to secure the device properly while you are traveling or maybe commuting. The case has a strong, smooth zipper that makes it easy to open and close. And finally, here is your CharaChorder One. The device comes with and is powered with a braided USB-A to USB-C cable. The USB-C side is removable so that you can replace it with a USB-C to USB-C, for example, to use it with smartphones and other devices. Be careful to align it right when you plug it in and make sure that it's plugged all the way in. The other cable that comes with the device is this one in the middle, which is a 3.5mm TRS cable. This cable connects the two halves together and lets them communicate. It is able to be expanded and contracted, which is useful when you separate the two halves of the CharaChorder. If you unplug either side, make sure you completely plug it back in. On each CharaChorder half, there are 9 switches. There's one larger switch, which is for your pinky, and the others are for your fingers, and then the 3 on the bottom are for your thumb. Each switch can move north, south, west, and east, and they can also be pressed down like you would on a normal keyboard. This is called a 3D press. The middle bar here is detachable, which allows you to separate the two halves of the CharaChorder to have a more flexible setup. It's really easy to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in the next section.
Now that we know what comes in the box with our CharaChorder One, we're going to talk a little bit about ergonomics and hand placement so that we can use our device safely.
There are 4 Phillips head screws on the bottom. You can remove them with a small screwdriver or use a small torque wrench like I have here.
Now that we have the halves separated, let's talk a little bit about hand placement.
When it comes to your wrists, you really want to be mindful of the angle that you have them bent. Ideally, it's a very neutral resting position like this, and they're not bent at all. In addition, you also need to be mindful of your wrist bending in this direction. So you don't want them like this, and you don't want them like that, but rather you really want them in this neutral, straight position. Now that we know how our wrist should be positioned, let's take a closer look at the hands specifically. We will later learn how to type specific letters, but in general, I want to point out positions of particular fingers. So this pinky finger goes here, then the ring finger, the middle finger, and the pointer finger, and then your thumb lies across these three here.
Now that we know all about our CharaChorder One, why don't we head back into the office and we're going to plug it in and see how it works.
All right, so I'm back in the office. I've got my CharaChorder One and I'm ready to plug it into my computer. Now, before I do that, I actually want to show you what's going to happen on your computer whenever you plug it in. So I'm going to share my screen here. And now that I've got my screen shared, I've just opened up Notepad here, and I'm going to put my cursor in here. This could be Microsoft Word, Google Chrome, any text window that you have on your computer, whether that's terminal, what have you. And we're going to plug the device in. So let me do that. And what you're going to see is it's going to say loading chord maps, and then CCOS is ready. And at this point, you are now ready to start typing and using your device. Now, I do want to make one note for Mac OS users. When you plug your device in, the first time, your Mac is going to try to get you to identify your keyboard by pressing either the Shift key to the left of the spacebar or perhaps the key to the right of the Shift. Whatever it is, you can ignore this because the CharaChorder is plug and play, so you can just click out of this window and it's going to work just fine. In today's video, we showed you what to expect in the box for your CharaChorder One, including the carrying case, the reference card, its USB cable, and the device itself. We covered how you can remove the center bar if you'd like to, and how to place your hands on the device while paying attention to your wrists so that you can use it ergonomically. Finally, we showed you what to expect when plugging in your device on your computer, which leads me to the homework. For this video's homework, I want you to try to use your device and type your name. I know it sounds really easy, but take a look at this reference card and try to use it to type your name. I think you'll be able to do it. In fact, if you'd like, why don't you go ahead and type your name, just your first name, into a comment below. See you next time.